Got it. Got it. Got it. Recording in progress. Xi from China with us this morning. The president. Xi and Zhu. How about Elon Musk continuing to rip? You know what? This wasn't even in the show notes. Matt, but let's go. Breaking news, because when you have a storyline that works, you just keep using it. Breaking news: the elites trust each other more and more. This was from January on the Narrative Conference at the World Economic Forum, and we're going to get back to that. But Matt, how about the fracture? Now Bezos calling Biden.
Yeah, he's been
Elon
talking about it.
Musk.
Well, I mean, he's been talking about it for a few weeks because obviously inflation does hurt his customer base. Poor people.
I mean, but he's calling him a flat out liar.
He is a flat out liar.
Okay, but he's an elite, and I thought, and he's a giant Democrat supporter. He's an athletic supporter, and he's also a giant Democrat supporter. Elon Musk, you couldn't say that he's, if you asked somebody 5 years ago where Elon Musk leaned, it wouldn't have been right. And yet he's calling President Xi a non-entity. Whoever controls the teleprompter is actually running the country. I thought that was brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, it is brilliant. Well, I mean, look at what's happening today, right? We had more than two shootings over the weekend because we're warming up in the South, and even in Chicago, they're already killing each other there, and it's not even.
By the way, it's been warm though in Chicago.
It has been. This is what I'm saying. It's already warm there, and it's not even summer. It's not Memorial Weekend. Usually that starts Memorial Weekend in Chicago, as you know. But think about the news or the headlines today. The Bidens are wreath laying in Buffalo. Why aren't they in California where another tragedy happened where an Asian man killed some Asian people? Why aren't they there?
Oh, because it's the narrative.
Oh, because it's a black person. A bunch of black people were killed, which is awful. But why do you have to pick one over the other and use it as your stomp? It's just like how people can't get used, how you can put up with this guy and the way he operates. He's always operated, just a total liar. He's a deceiver. He's a denier. He's a liar. I mean, it's horrible. Like how anybody that voted for the guy, like how can you stand by what he's doing to this country?
I don't know, man.
And then you're crying about Orange Man and some tweets. Good Lord, you need some help, people.
Matt,
whatever happened to sticks and stones?
Well,
give me a break.
I've been saying that forever. And Jordan Peterson, he's getting a lot of flack for ripping on the Sports Illustrated cover. I didn't see what he said. He had another tweet today.
Is Kim Kardashian nude with her Spanx on there?
No, it's another gal that's a plus size, which is fine.
Yeah, and you know what? Longplex tweeted today. Longplex tweeted today. I don't want to see Matt Davio on the cover. He's fat. And I agree with him. I don't want to buy anything with me on the cover.
Well, wait a second. There's plenty of people that do though. So that's not. Again, I have no problem with you carrying your body whatever way you want to carry it. Just don't tell me that's healthier.
Correct.
Being obese is healthier than not being obese. Please stop that.
Exactly. When you go to
because I'm going to have the physical today for my life insurance, and I'm going to pay more because I'm 40 plus pounds more than I should be.
Well, and you're old, so you will pay more.
And I'm going to die. Wendy Rogers, Arizona says OAN is the best, but is being banned. Newsmax is now Fox News. Fox News is now CNN. CNN is now MSNBC. MSNBC is now clearly the Soviet Central Television. All of the media, mainstream media. Thank God I quit it years ago.
Me too. Yeah, I quit it in 0405.
It is. All right. Let me get on to my thread. Matt, wait a second. Let me share because before that, definitely before that, I got to share. This is the best. Can I share? Hold on a second. This is the greatest thing I've seen in a while. Let's talk marketing, Matt. Caesar Sportsbook Mac is back. This dude, he's the mattress king of Houston. And he placed a $3 million bet with Caesars and another, I think, $1 million bet with, sorry, Barstools, not with you. Anyways, he's set up to win $40 million if the Astros win the World Series. But the best part of it is how smart this guy is. If you spend $3,000 or more, I believe, in his mattress store, and the Astros win the World Series, he'll give you $6,000 back. So it's a marketing genius. The guy's got the money. I mean, maybe that's the $4 million is his entire marketing budget for the year, right? So he's going to let social media take it over, and the Astros are playing lights out. So, in fact, he moved the line, Matt, from 12-1 to 8. Or from one of them, we got 12-1. The other one, he got 1,000, and he moved it to 800. He moved it $300, $400 on one app, $200 on the other app from his giant.
So did he place the bet all?
Dude, he was in Texas. He drove across the state line into Louisiana, and then he put the bets on the app. Like, I guess they can, obviously, 2,000 Mules will tell you can geo-track people. Right? Fantastic. Thank you, Mac. This is, I mean, that made my day when I saw this guy. And a great, again, this is all marketing, baby. This is nothing but marketing, and savvy marketing at that. All right, Matt, now on this, you shared in the room this, the confidential list of everyone attending the 2020 World Economic Forum in Davos. And when I opened it, I got to tell you, and let's just go through, and these are the level ones. This is from David, can't pronounce his last name, talking about the World Economic Forum, how they got the drop. But these are level ones, all right, chief executive of Kaiserberg Group, Denmark. But then it starts, Matt. Khalil Abdullah Janahi, United Arab Emirates, Iraq, U.S., Honeywell Permanent, the Kaiser Permanent U.S., India, United Kingdom, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you're starting to get the picture, aren't you?
I'm wondering how a World Economic Forum dedicated to climate science is run by. I mean, that's where my mind went right away.
Well, and if you think about it, you've got another country that believes in keeping people under the thumb.
Well, exactly. You will own nothing. Brought to you by the Sultan. I don't know. That's got a nice ring to it.
Brought to you by the Arabs who own all the oil. I mean, again, just use your brain, see what's going on.
All right, Matt.
And not only that, it's not conspiracy theory if it's true.
Not only that, is it not conspiracy theory? Let's look at the oil chart, because who benefits the most of, and let's say it's the speeding of the agenda away from oil, obviously, is what's hurt the consumer. 100 million barrels of oil a day, 100 million barrels of oil a day. That's what we consume. It seems like a pretty no-brainer. If oil's at $50, it doesn't benefit them as much as if oil's at $115. Bring up the oil chart, Matt. You've been chomping at the bit. This is an explosive long.
Yeah, and it's very bullish, and it's about to, we're testing the 61.8 again right here at 116.5, and we're trading 115. Actually got up 115.5 today. So we're at a key juncture here, and if we get back, just on this time frame, this is a 610 chart. We tested down here multiple times, low 90s, and yeah, I said buy it. It's a great buy-in opportunity. If you should be taking some profits here, as it's going to have some, pushback at this level. Just technically it will. And, but I do think it's going to shoot higher. I think there's going to be more, more news coming, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's Israel, right? There's all kinds of fighting going on in parts of the world now that's just escalating and escalating, and it's picking up in Europe too. So there's no reason oil and gas, the relationship there, they're going to go higher, and that's not going to stop. I mean, we passed. I don't know about you if you've noticed this, but we're well over $5 here in our little.
Where it's getting to the point. And how about how many of these things collide? By the way, I told you I'm being extorted by my contractor,
right?
And we've been going early because I've been going and helping him,
right?
And he's obviously, I'm not doing it for free, but he also said, "Listen, I'm making the homeowner pay for your gas too."
Good Lord.
Swear to God. Now, but these are sort of the metrics. Like you're starting doing some building. All of a sudden the guy's going to be saying, "Hey, listen, I need gas."
Half my day's wage is taken away driving my
how about this?
4-ton diesel truck,
right?
30 miles. That's 60 miles in a day. That's like half my tank.
I need gas stipends for my crew.
Yeah.
That's what's coming.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and so I brought up the rbob, which is the gasoline futures. Lord, look at this. We're back to, this is again a 610 chart. You could have bought this in December at $1.87. We're at 408. And so don't tell me again.
And here's the thing. I mean, it looks
don't tell me this wasn't, here's the gap, but this was already going up before, the whole Russia again. I feel like ultra MAGA here. Because it's so stupid, this whole thread of bullshit. Like I can't even deal with these people anymore. They're freaking insane.
Let me ask you a question.
In the narrative center.
How far left has Rolling Stone gone?
I don't even read it.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the peace marches? Is there a peace march planned anywhere? Anyone want peace?
Yeah.
Anybody want peace?
No, they just want to wear. They want to wear these colors. They want to wear these colors on their shirts and wear Ukraine flags and pretend like they know what's going on. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Matt. Let's get to some other hot breaking news, and that is this. Again, we need help for content, and Wall Street Jesus, thank you so much for this one. Guys doing great work on the allocations. And we're going to talk about this more going towards the end of the quarter. Redemption. There's been a lot of threads about the impact of redemptions, especially if prices stay where they are at. We've had several kick saves, Matt, over the past, dozen quarters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway. What he did a nice job with yesterday was going through some of the larger known publicly, hedge funds. And Warren Buffett, he went through his listings, and again, this stuff is all available to any of you. And I think this is the point of bringing this up and sharing this today. You too can find out legally what people are buying and selling publicly just by going to the SEC and using their information. It's a little delayed, but if this was their first quarter, change in transactions, you're really not that far behind. And in a market like this, that can be useful information, especially if you start seeing the same names showing up, both buy or sell, right? And you want to see, oh, that guy's buying this guy's selling this. That's interesting. Like they're both taking different sides. It's the argument, right?
That's the beautiful thing of the market. That's what the market's supposed to be. It's a big craps game with money against money.
This doesn't tell us much except for how much they invested or put into, but it doesn't tell you like their average cost of the purchases or sales. So it's not. For sure you can glean something, right? Well, you can look at the quarter. You can look at where the quarter was and see where the issues were trading, right?
Well, first of all, let's just take Robinhood.
Okay.
He had to get killed on it.
Yeah. Well, anybody
had to get killed on it.
Yeah. I mean, again.
More importantly, let's look at the one that he got into, his new position, as STRY, and then Dave. We've never heard.
Well, Dave is. I think it's Dave and Buster's, right? No, what is it? No, I don't even know what it is.
I don't know. Let's bring it up live in Memorex.
Well, Dave, DAVE,
yeah,
relatively new issue, just I don't know. It must have been like some type of reverse engineered something, because
let me see. You go through the chart. I'll see if I can get some info on
it. Trades 314,000 shares a day. It's worth just under $1 billion. They are a financial corporation. It's $2, $2.60. The low was 181. I don't know what this means. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But this chart is weird. Like I said, they must have taken over the symbol and reverse listed it, because it traded, but it was like a dead issue there for a year, just sitting parked, and then all of a sudden it went public, boom, 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 like this year, right? It's been very violent from 16 all the way down to $1.80. Eesh. That's hard.
STRY.
Did you find out what they do in the financial world?
I cannot find out what they do. They disappointed. Right. I know that.
Starry Group is another finance corporation. Again, same type of picture. I don't know. This tells me that these guys know something that nobody else knows, right? So if they're buying it down here on these breaks, it got as low as $6. Now it's at $8. But again, it's the same type of weird looking chart. So again, do your own homework. I don't know anything about these names. They look wonky to me, but again.
Yeah, I mean, the chart looks wonky as can be compared to ones. I mean, we've been doing this for several years now.
Yeah.
The profile is not a profile.
It's not, to me, again, it's not worth your time, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work out in the long run, right? I have no idea. But again, if you're a trader, stick with the liquid stuff. If you're an investor, find out what's going on here, and maybe you can find some pleasant.
Let's see if we can find what that's actually a curve. He increased positions in LI. Is that right? LI.
LI is a Chinese auto company, I believe.
How about DDL? Let's get one.
It's another Chinese Cayman Island Ding Dong Limited. That's perfect name for you, by the way. I'm surprised.
Why don't we start a fund called the Ding Dong Fund?
I'm surprised you're not invested in Ding Dong Limited. I mean, give me a break.
All right, Redfin.
But it trades a million shares a day, and this base is actually interesting. It gets been.
Hold on, talk about it.
No, like I'm just going to say, we don't have a long length, stretch of time here, but this thing, your risk is obviously $5. I don't know. I mean, again, only worth $1 billion. Ding dong. It's probably some Chinese, ding dong company.
Which is dead, is it not?
I don't know.
All right, let's get. We're going to find one. I know we're going to find what we're hunting here. RDFN.
Redfin?
RDFN.
I know Redfin, and this is a pile of shit. It's real estate. It tells you exactly where real estate is going.
Although he is buying a giant break.
Yeah. I mean, but look at this thing. I mean, this is a daily chart that we're looking at. Good Lord. I mean, this thing,
$11 could easily go.
I mean, I get daily updates from local Redfin realtors. I somehow got onto their app, and now I get too many listings with all these, shit shacks that are selling here for $1.5 million that are like 500 feet. I'm like, what's going on? So, but that's where we are. We got earnings coming here. This thing, fully reversed, $100 down to 10. I mean, I remember this when this thing, we're COVID low. It's a good time to buy.
Well, we've talked about it. That's been one of our threads, right, for a while now. That
I just don't see real estate turning around. However, so I have a hard time fundamentally.
I have a real hard time with this one.
Yeah,
but I was talking to a homeowner yesterday, Matt, and he said to me that he was able to buy, when he bought the house, he was able to buy his rate down to 4.5, and this was literally I don't know, several weeks ago. And he was talking about how had he waited a couple of weeks, he couldn't have bought the house.
Right. He got lucky. He got lucky in that 6-week window.
Unbelievable.
But the other side of the story is there's a whole set of people that now, I mean, you got to see it, right? Driving around town, all the houses for sale, the inventory is definitely picked up. I don't need somebody to tell me that it is. I can see it driving around this town now. That'll show up in the next month, next 2 months, next quarter. Prices then will slowly begin to come down, but that'll take a year. It's a timing thing. So And the more the rates stay up here, the more inventory will build, and the more it will sit there, and the prices will it'll languish. It won't. They're not going to transact at these prices. They're now people are fishing, and I would like if you bought some house for $100,000 and you think you can get $1.5 million for it today, 10 years, and yeah, they walked it up, and then they sold them off here the first hour, down to 8 o'clock. And now they'll probably rally until, or rather 7:30. It was a little low. Like this is a typical situation where wait for that hour push up or down and then fade it, because we're not going to continue. Like this was a good example of this is the type of day that you needed to buy.
So he's talking in a half hour. Is that correct?
Well, he may start talking. He may start. It's just it's a rehash of the. It's the halfway mark between the next Fed meeting.
Yeah,
so
but he's a human being and he can slip. Like Williams did what we showed the one yesterday where they want to get the balance sheet back to long-term treasuries, back to it, meaning right now they got everything on that thing. Their balance sheet looks like my dance card.
My dance card. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting time. I don't, like I said, I hate this intervention trading. It's not my thing. I'm not going to read the statement and make a big bet.
By the way, everybody, that was Matt Davio trading. He's firing mid-show. That's what we do here at Market Vitals. This is a live discussion in the trading pit because we are actually trading right now.
Yeah, well, again, I bought that push down. I was like, we're not going down today. Like, I mean, all we did is come back and fill the gap from the European session. So great. That was a good time to buy. Again, the market broke out. The SPUs kind of have put in a base in the 3 days. I think that's an interesting thing. And you can see that pretty clearly that, there's a, let's look at like a 15-minute chart here on the SPUs, but you can see this, like you have like these two shoulders right here, right? They're just hanging in here right around 39.50. As long as that holds, this looks like this is a pattern, again, human patterns.
Love to recognize patterns. Yeah.
That people are going to buy, and we're going to trade up to 4,300. It looks like to me. That's just the next level. So,
and it doesn't matter that the bonds are lower and that crude's going to go to
it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter right now. So you may have to sit through, if you're short, might be a good time to take some off and wait for the rally to come to sell again. I mean, we've already run 5%. We'll run another 5%. 10% from here is 380 points. Go up to, what is it? Give me some help here, Bob. Right about the 42.50 area. So, start selling 42.50, 4,300. If you're looking to get short, but this looks to me, especially after Powell speaks, if this market holds and maybe goes back and tests the high from last night, which was 40.83, then you can go off to the races, at least to the top end, the monthly, which is 42.30, which is right at the 10%. Like that's boom, 10%. So 10% rallies are normal in bear markets and they happen quickly. And looks like we're going to have one again here, but then you're just running into the next level of overhead resistance. So don't get too excited. The bull market is not back. It's not back. Look at the daily charts to give yourself a shot of where you could go, of course, but this chart should still scare you and not say the green lights are back. But the bottom of this level here's one level, 41.23, and then you go up 42.16. So that plays right into what I'm saying. 4,300, is possible.
Right on. Let me share on this same thread on a standard deviation basis, because whoops, cancel that. I almost left the meeting. This is the weekly SPUs continuation and standard deviation modeling. So the lower momentum on the weekly 41.30, the weekly average 4,300 call, some of these same levels that you're looking at, and the up momentum level all the way up at 44.67. With the slope involved here being negative, I mean, any one of these will be a reaction level. The 41.30, they're not just going to blast right through that. That'll be a reaction level for sure. If we can close the week above 41.30, the standard deviation modeling, much like the profile modeling, is a continuous if-then statement, right? And that's why it's evolving. I can't tell you what it's going to do, but I can tell you if it closes above 4130, that's healthier than if it can't mount a test of that level.
Well, and for me, and the way I look at these, any types of bands like this, I need to see it. And this is a weekly chart, so this is slow mover, right? I would kind of break that down into a slower time frame, 60-minute or daily, just to see. I would like to see a little bit more color on this chart on a shorter time frame. Could you give me like a 60-minute?
Oh, of course I can. That's what I do all day.
Because I'm not going to trade the weekly. Most people aren't going to trade the weekly. But if we were to close like fully above 4130 and clear it, then that would suggest on a weekly chart we could trade to that 4400 level. But
exactly.
I don't see that.
So this
happening.
is the 144-minute. We love fibs, and again, the bands have positive slope to them. It's maintaining.
But you're at the top end again here. So give me a 60-minute. Just give me even a shorter one.
1 hour coming up.
Mm-hmm. So this is more reflective to that, upside down head and shoulders that I showed you earlier, the pattern, yes. Right? So again, your stops should be 39.50. If you go below that, it's broken down and it's going back the other way. So buy down to 39.50. We're trading 40.61 right now. You got a 100-point range you should be buying into. That's it. I mean, it's real simple. You may never see 39.50 again, so don't wait for that. But when you get a pullback, say to 40.27,
right on. I love that area on
39.80
time frame. Right on.
39.87, your other band down there. If this is how you trade, these would be the areas you'd look to buy. And you had a little dip actually, just there this morning. There was your dip.
Let me go back to this thought process on time fractals. Again, now this is the SPOOs. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Hold on a second. So the Russell, 1867 weekly momentum level. The NASDAQ, 12,864. You said takes out 12.5. We get 12.9. That's what this says also. Right?
Yeah.
And who trades the Dow? I don't know anyone, but 32,768 if you're so inclined to trade the Dow.
Yeah, and again,
what I'm saying is going back to the bear market rallies, these things can have face ripper rallies and the chart is still negative.
Right. Because
of the slope on the standard deviation modeling.
Yeah, just as you shouldn't get too hung up on the long-term charts, you shouldn't get too hung up on the very short-term charts, right? That's the whole point. You got to find. You have to find the time frame that is more in control in this market, right? What is it? A 15-minute, a 60-minute? This is your job. You should be able to see that looking at the chart. And if you can't see it, then you probably don't have a reason to trade, right?
I think that's the most important thing. Like when you don't have a complete trade setup, including risk and evolving reward. And I like saying that, evolving reward. There's nothing wrong with as long as you're managing the risk side, letting some of your profits run and run and run. All the modeling that I've ever seen, the most alpha is those, 20 percenters or even less, those 5 percenters where you have a piece on and it runs and runs and runs. All right, Matt. Speaking of runs,
the elites in sports are all hammering each other. Everybody's Monday morning quarterbacking. CP3. You're like, shut the fuck up. I mean, the guy struggled. He's old. I mean, so what?
I struggle too.
No, but it's really like you saw, all the players and half the 90% of the guys supporting the guy because they realize how hard it is to play in the league that long. And then you got the Damian Lillard's coming to the support of CP3, which he should. Like these guys cut the way for them to have long careers. This is what people don't understand. It's so hard to have a long career in any sporting event. So you should celebrate a guy that's played until he's 37, not beat the crap out of him just because he had a bad game at home on the one game where you needed him. I mean, it happens. And the young kid didn't play any better either. So, the kid who, averages 30 points a game for them, I can't think of his name right now, but I can picture him. So it's not, we're in this time of the year where fans get nasty. And this is kind of, to me, it's an interesting thread to think about. how people are acting about their sports and just going out and, you know, all these shootings and everything. It's because people have been freaking locked up for the last 2 years. I mean, this has nothing to do with the sporting event. It has to do with the angst and the anxiety, you know, that these people are feeling from being locked up for 2 years. And if you don't think this is going to escalate this summer, I mean, honestly, I'm a little scared to go out into like large public spaces right now. Not scared, but concerned.
Heightened awareness.
My alertness is on a higher level for sure.
Right on, man.
You know what I mean?
All right, Matt, thank you so much. Thank you, Lee. Please visit us at marketvitals.io. Please share, retweet, plagiarize, push the show far and wide. Thank you, Wall Street Jesus, for your hard work and making it easier for me not to do the work.
Hey, our
and
job
I quit the farm in 1987 because there's always work on the farm. Always work to be done. If you're a dairy farmer, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it. Twice a day, 365 days a year, those cows need your attention.
They need to be released.
That's why I quit. I wasn't actually on a dairy farm. All right, Matt, that's it. That's what we got. Have a great day.
All right, Bobby. Thank you. Peace out.